Hi everyone, and welcome to this brand new section of statistics where we are going to learn about the 5-point summary as well as how to use it to draw the box and whisker diagram. Now, here is a little star for you to remember. The method of calculating our 5-point summary and drawing the box and whisker diagram changes a little. Now, when does this method change? Well, it depends whether you have an even amount or an uneven amount of data. Okay, so let us look at both. Now, we are given the following set of data, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different numbers. Okay, so that's an even amount of data. Now, we want to calculate the 5-point summary, which consists of the minimum value, Q1, which we call the lower quartile, and it has another name, which we can also say the first quartile. Then we have Q2, which is either the second quartile or the other name is the median. Now, you remember from before what the median is? It's the value right in the middle of our data set, right? And then we have Q3, which is our upper quartile, and the other name for it is our third quartile. And then the last value for our 5-point summary is the maximum value, which is the largest number in our data set. Okay, great. So the minimum value, Q1, Q2, Q3, and the maximum value. Okay, that is our 5-point summary. Don't forget it, because you have to calculate these before we can draw a box and whisker diagram. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to calculate these 5 points. Now, the first thing that we need to do is to rearrange our data in ascending order. That means from small to big. So I take all of these numbers and I rearrange them from the smallest number to the biggest one. And remember, when there's two of the same number, we put them right next to one another. Okay, great. Now we can start. The minimum value is very easy to find, because the minimum value is the smallest number in our data set, which will be the 12. Okay, great. So the minimum value is 12. Now we have to go and calculate Q2, which is our median. Okay, because we want to know where is the middle of this data set. Now, please remember, and here's the part that changes. When we have an even amount of data, now we know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 numbers here, okay? That's an even amount. Now, when we calculate the middle of an even amount, there will be two numbers in the middle. For an even amount, there cannot be one thing in the middle, and I can quickly show you here. Let me just put 4 dots there, and I'll show you. That's 1 dot, the second dot, the third dot, the fourth dot. Now I want to find the middle one. Well, the middle is right here between those two. So if we want to find the middle, we need to look at those two first, okay? Got it? So an even amount of things don't have one value in the middle. We have to use 2 to calculate the middle one. Now look what happens if we have an uneven amount. So let's just make 1, 2, 3 things. If we have 1, 2, 3 things, that one is in the middle. So when we have an uneven amount, we've got one value in the middle. And that's the difference between an even amount of data and an uneven amount. And I'll quickly show you how to find the middle for an even amount of data. So here we go. We know there's 16 numbers. So what I do first, I'm just going to write here in red. It's not part of my calculation, but I just want to show you that sometimes it's hard to just count and find the 2 in the middle, because there can be plenty of data. So what we do is, we know there's 16 of them. So I simply take 16 and I divide it by 2, and then I get 8. Okay, so the 8th number will be one of the numbers that's in the middle. So we always take the 8 and also the number next to it, which will be the 9th. So this is the 8th and the 9th number that we look at. Okay, so now we just go and find the 8th and the 9th. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the 8th one, so I'll underline it quickly. There we go. And the 9th one is the next one, and I'll underline that as well. So you can easily see that those two are the two numbers that is in the middle of this data set. But these two are not my median. A median can only be one number, okay? And it's the number that's right in the middle of those two. So we want to get, we want to add these two and divide it by 2 to get the one there in the middle. Okay, got it? So let's quickly calculate Q2. So now we can go and say Q2 is equal to 26 plus 32 divided by 2. And if we calculate that answer, and you can follow on your calculator and practice it so long, and that will give you an answer of 29, right? Okay, great. So our median is 29. And then I go right in this median because it's quite important. Okay, so right in the middle will be our median, which is 29. Okay, brilliant. Now, how about the next one we need to calculate? We need to go and calculate Q1, okay? Now that is our lower quartile. In other words, that is the middle of the first half. Okay, now there's something very important that you need to know. This median doesn't form part of the first half. I can actually say that a median never forms part of the first half. Okay, so basically it does not, and I'll circle this number in red, it does not include this number, the first half. Okay, so we know that this 29 separates our data into two. So it's all the way from 12 to 26. That is our first half. And to find the middle of our first half, because we're looking to find the lower quartile or the first quartile, that is in the middle of this first half. So we do exactly the same as here. We just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so because it is a 8, we simply go and we say 8 divided by 2, that gives us 4, and 8 is an even amount. So we look at the fourth and the fifth number in our data set, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll quickly underline that one as well. So that's the fourth one, that's the fifth one, and the lower quartile, the Q1, will be in the middle of those two. So now let's quickly calculate the lower quartile. So Q1 equals, we say the 19 plus the 22 divided by 2, and that gives us 20,5. So then we know that our lower quartile is in the middle of those two, and I can simply write here that it will be 20,5. Got it? Now, same thing for our upper quartile, Q3. That means it's in the middle of our last half. Now, again, the median never forms part of our last half. That's why it doesn't include the 29. It separates the middle, so it's from the 32 all the way to 40. And again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So again, we can simply say it will be 8 divided by 2. That gives us 4. Now, because there's 8 numbers in our last half, it's an even amount, and when we divide it by 2, we are looking at the fourth and the fifth value from the middle. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the fourth one, and let me underline that. That will be the fifth one, and then we can calculate Q3. So basically Q3 is equal to 33 plus 33 divided by 2. It gives us 33. And right in the middle of those two, we will also have a 33. So right there, 33. And now we have our Q1, we have our Q2, we have our Q3, we've got the minimum. The last one for our 5-point summary is our maximum value, which is the largest number in our data set. So I can simply say here that the maximum is equal to 40. So now we have our 5 points for our 5-point summary. Our minimum, our median, our first quartile, our third quartile, and our maximum value. Okay, got it? Now let's see how this method changes when we have an uneven amount. So what if the data were the following? Okay, and what is the difference. Now we have, and what I'm basically trying to show you, that I'm changed the data to all of those numbers, and then we have to first go and count it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So what is the difference? Well, this data only has 15 numbers, and that up there had 16. So this set of data is an uneven amount. Okay, now like I showed you, when we have an uneven amount, we can get one value that is in the middle. So the first thing, to find our 5-point summary, we need to rearrange our data in ascending order. So that is what we'll do. From small to big. Okay, great. Now let's find the 5-point summary. Again, our minimum is quite easy. Our minimum is equal to 12. Okay, and sometimes write their maximum as well, because it's so easy to see it. So the maximum is 40. Now we have to calculate our median, then our first quartile, and then the third quartile. So always get the median first. So we have 15 numbers here. So what I quickly do is I just simply take 15, and I'll do this in red. I just simply say 15 divided by 2, and look, we get 7.5. That is great, because what we do now is we just round it up. So 8. So the 8th number in this data, okay, the 8th one will be the middle. So let's find the 8th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is 26. And I'll underline or circle that in my black pen. There we go. So 26 is our Q2. And I can simply say here, and I have to write it down, so you can do it here on the side. So we list them there, because with uneven amount, it's much easier. So Q2 is equal to 26. Okay, got it? So it's 15 numbers. We divide it by 2. We get 7,5. When we round it up, we know which number is in the middle. And it will be the 8th one. Please don't write Q2 is 8. It will be the 8th number in our data set. And then we just go and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And it will be 26. And you can see it's right in the middle. See, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers to the end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers to the front. Okay, brilliant. Now we want to determine Q1, which is our lower quartile. Now the lower quartile is the one in the middle of our first half. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 numbers in the first half. So I simply take 7 divided by 2. That is equal to 3.5. And we round it up to 4. So we are looking at the 4th number. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll circle that with my black pen. It will be 19. And then we can simply write here at the bottom that Q1 is equal to 19. As easy as that. Now we find the middle one here at the back. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3,5. We're looking at the 4th one from the middle. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can circle that one in our black pen. And that will be our Q3. So Q3 is equal to 33. Got it? Okay, brilliant. Now please remember the following: that the median never forms part of our first half or the second half. This median is on its own. Okay, even here when I said the median doesn't form part of the first half, we don't include it in counting the amount of numbers in our first half. So we do it with the 26 as well. We don't include it in our first half. That's why we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers that we divide by 2. It doesn't include the median. So basically, the first half starts just in front of the median, and the second half starts just after the median, if you look at these two lines that I drew here. So the second half starts after the median, and the first half starts in front of the median towards the beginning. Okay, got it? So did you see the two differences? When we have an even amount of data to find our 5-point summary, and also what happens now when we have an uneven amount to find our 5-point summary. Don't forget it, it's very important. Now let's go and see how we can use this 5-point summary to draw a box and whisker diagram. So now we are going to use the 5-point summary from before to draw the box and whisker diagram. And remember, this was the answers that we got for our even amount of data, and we calculated this earlier on in the video. So now we basically want to use this to draw the box and whisker. So we want to look at our data and we want to represent all of these numbers on a number line here, right? Okay, so I'm not going to start with the minimum. I'm going to start with 10 and I'm going to work with increments of 5. So when I draw my number line in like this, and then I can simply say that we start at 10 and then we go to 15, we go to 20, we go to 25, we go to 30, we go to 35, and then 40. There we go. So basically this number line represents all of this data. And now what we want to do is we are simply going to plot these points on this line. Okay, so there we go. So I take my red pen and we know that the minimum is 12, so it will just be a little bit further on than the 10. And look what I do, I simply plot it and then I'm gonna draw like a little dotted line only as high as that. Okay, so important. Then we go to Q1, which is 20.5, which is just after the 20. So again, I'm just gonna make it there we go, and then we go up the same amount of way up to there. Okay, and then we go to Q2, which is 29, which will be in front of the 30, and again I use my red pen just there, and then I go up just as high as the others with my dotted line. Okay, see, small little dotted lines. And then our Q3 is 33, which is just after the 30, so it will be around there, and then we go up with our dotted line as well, and then our maximum is 40 and we go up to there. Okay, so now look closely what we do. Between Q1 and Q3 we are gonna draw a little rectangle there. Okay, so I'll try my best to do this. So from 20 we are going to draw a rectangle all the way to Q3. So there we go, that's the first line. Then we go up and we go up here as well, and then all the way there, and you can do this with your ruler. There we go. Now we extend this red line there, okay, and then we know that this one will be our Q1 right there, that it's Q1. You write here that this one is Q2. You write here that this is Q3. But what's very important is that you indicate what these values are. So what we now do is we simply go and we write here that it is 20,5. We write here that this value is 29 and this one here is 33. Okay, it's very important. Now, what about our maximum and minimum? So now we simply go and we take a line from the middle of the rectangle and we draw it all the way out, and then with a line like that, and then from that middle all the way to our maximum, and with a line like that. So we write here that this is our minimum, we write here that this is our maximum, and we can easily see that that is a maximum, the 40. But what about this value here? I have to include it, and it will be a 12. So now we can easily see my minimum is 12, my Q1 is 20,5, my Q2 is 29, and my Q3 is 33, and my maximum 40. Okay, got it? So now let's go and try it for the uneven amount. So again, we are going to represent all of this data on a number line. So here is my number line there, and then I simply write my steps in. So this will start at 10, and then we will go to 15, then it is 20, 25, 30, 35, as well as 40. Okay, so after that we go and plot our minimum, and look what I do. I start at our minimum, which is just after the 10, and I go up a few lines like this with a dotted line, and I can already write here that my minimum is 12. Okay, then Q1, which is 19, it will just be in front of the 20, and because I don't have space to write it, I'm just going to write it there as 19. Then Q2 is 26, which is just after the 25. Let's go up like that, and we write here that it's 26. And Q3 is 33, which is about there, and we write there that it's 33, and that is it. And we also have our maximum that goes up to there. So what we do next is we connect our Q1 with our Q3, and we go up and up on that line and make a rectangle. There it is. And then we simply make that line where our median is in black right in the middle of our rectangle there. Now we go and write here that this is our Q1, this is our Q2, this is our Q3. Now our next step is to simply draw a line from the middle of this rectangle towards the maximum and from the middle of this side of the rectangle towards our minimum. So let's quickly do that. So we draw a line to in line with the maximum, draw a line there with your pen and simply write there that that's the maximum. We do the same at the front of this rectangle all the way down to our minimum. We draw a line there with our pen to indicate that it's in line with the 12 and we write there it's the minimum. And that is how we draw a box and whisker. And it's so important that you include all of this data. Can you see how I indicate what those values are? Don't just draw a line to there and let them guess what the Q3 is or the Q2 or the Q1. Okay, it's so important. And remember, when you choose those steps, you have to make sure that those steps are equal. Then it gives us important information. So by drawing your box and whisker accurately, we can easily see that the Q2, which is our middle value, is a bit more to the right in this rectangle. You see, it's on the right side of this rectangle. That means that the values from the middle towards the maximum are closer together. Got it? And look at that amount of space there towards the minimum. It's got a longer tail. That means the data are a bit more spread from the middle towards the minimum. Now if we look at this example, Q2 is right in the middle of our rectangle. That basically means that the data are evenly spread from the middle to the maximum and towards the minimum. See, it's got an equal amount of space, so the values are evenly spread. We will also continue to look at the spread of data in a later lesson, but now at least you know how to calculate the 5-point summary and how to draw the box and whisker for an even amount of data as well as for an uneven amount. Okay, so keep practicing and hope to see you again soon. Bye! This is your host Richard T, and thank you for joining us. Please visit our website mathsa.co.za for free guided exam tutorials.